Hello, guitar students. First things first, please make sure you are working on your benchmark project. Most of you turned in your outline for that early in the quarter that laid out how you'll present or structure your project, and I encourage you to start fleshing that out this week. Seniors, your benchmark project is due by Thursday, May 21st, the day before your last day. Everyone else, your benchmark project is due on Friday, June 5th. The turn-in spot for everyone's project is in the red Benchmark Project folder on Schoology. Remember, for every type of project except the 5-page paper or the presentation, you are required to write a 2-page reflection. This must be turned in with your project, or you will not receive credit for the benchmark. If you're doing a presentation, here's the format I'd like to see. You can turn in the Google Slides as part of the assignment, but you must also turn in a video or audio recording of yourself presenting, so that I can hear your delivery as I go through the slides. Next, please make sure you take the quiz posted in this week's folder that goes over the notes on the first 3 strings of guitar. Every student is taking this quiz, including Guitar 2. If you need a review for it, just go look in last week's folder, where there's a picture from the book with all the things you need to know. There's also, in a separate link, flashcards that you can review. You have 2 attempts for this quiz. Other than that, the assignments for this week remain the same. Hello, Guitar 1 students. Moving ahead this week, we've already covered all of the notes from G to G on those first 3 strings. But now we're going to add one more note that actually goes in the middle of that. Go ahead and turn right now to page 76, and you'll see a concept that we've talked about already during Theory Thursdays. We've talked about half steps and whole steps, and you'll see that right on the top of page 76. Now, we've been using half and whole steps as we've been doing all of these notes from G to G, but we haven't been working within a certain key. We've just been doing all the regular notes. This week we're going to take it a step further and we're going to actually play songs that are in the key of G. So in order to do the key of G, as we've discussed before, you have to have F sharp in the key. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and then G. So when we're talking about those different notes, to make a sharp note, you just go 1 fret higher than before. So we have G, the high G, way up on the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And we already covered F and E, the 1st fret, and the open. Okay, so E, F, and G. We've already covered that. But if you go up 1 fret from F, okay, so the 2nd fret on the 1st string, as you can see in the bottom of page 76, the 2nd fret of the 1st string is F sharp, because that's the note that's directly above F natural. So F natural is the 1st fret, the 2nd fret is F sharp, and you need that F sharp in order to do any song in the key of G. So a lot of the stuff on page 76 is going to be review for you if you've been paying attention during Theory Thursdays. So it's not going to be that important for you to pour through it, as long as you understand the concept of sharps and the concept of keys, which is what we're going to be looking over right now. So go ahead and look at page 77. We're going to be using that F sharp when we do stuff in the G major scale. So in the G major scale, we have that G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, remember that 2nd fret, and up to G. And if you listen to that, it sounds a whole lot better than playing the F natural. So without that F sharp, that doesn't sound good, right? But if you add in the F sharp instead of regular old F, it sounds complete. It sounds right. So adding in that F sharp to make a G major scale is what we're going to be doing this week. So it's not going to be a whole lot of new stuff for you this week, but you have 2 options for how you want to approach this. If you look at page 77, one of your options for this week's playing test is the G scale study. Now, the first line of the G scale study is very easy. You're just going up from the middle G up to the high G, and then back to the middle G. That's that first line. That's all it is. All it is... a little mistake there. Okay, so again, you're just going up and then down. Now the second and the third lines are a little more complicated because you're going to be skipping notes as you go through the second and third lines. Now, I might make another mistake here just because I haven't practiced the G scale study that much. It's a fun little song, but it is a little complicated just because you're skipping notes as you go through. So, looking at, starting at measure 5 on page 77, you have G, B, A, C, B, D, E, C, E, D, F sharp, E, G, F sharp, D, G. So you're not going just step by step, you're skipping step as you go through it. So if you're starting on measure 5, and again, if I make a mistake, I apologize, but we're starting on measure 5, and we go G, B, A, C, then we go B, D, C, E, D, F sharp, E, G, and then F sharp, D up to G, okay? And then you're going back down again in the same pattern. You're skipping every other note. Okay? So, it makes a nice little melody as you're going up, do 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 do, and then go back down again, do 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 do. So it's a nice little pattern for that. So that's one of your playing options this week. The G scale study on page 77 is one option. The other option is on page 78, where we start using key signatures. And we've already talked about key signatures in this class during Theory Thursdays, so this shouldn't be a big deal for you. But let's go ahead and look at the description for you. A song based on the G major scale is in the key of G major. Since the F is sharp in the G scale, every F will be sharp in the key of G major. Instead of making all the Fs sharp in the song, the sharp is indicated at the beginning in the key signature. Sharps or flats shown in the key signature are effective throughout the song. We've talked about that. So you're looking at the beginning of the song and you see the key signature, 1 sharp on F sharp. So every time in the song you see an F, for instance in the second measure, which we have 3 right in a row, those are not F, they are F sharp. It's important to make that distinction because otherwise the song sounds weird. So make sure whenever you see an F in this song, you play it as an F sharp. So folk song is the other option for this week, and it's a fun little song. There we go. See how it's not bad there? Okay. So again, that was kind of rough for me because I haven't really looked over the song. I was just kind of sight reading it. But it uses the same concepts as the G scale study. You're going to have to go up the scale and down the scale in it, so it's still fun, but it puts it in the form of a song so that it's a bit more easy to do, honestly. But make sure every time you see the F that you play F sharp instead of F natural like we've done before. So that's what you're doing this week. It shouldn't be that big a deal for you. It's mostly notes you've already done before. The only addition is that F sharp on the second fret of the first string. That's the only new note. Everything else is exactly what you've already been doing all this time. So I'll put those 2 sound files onto Schoology as well so you can look over them. Make sure you take the quiz. It's gonna close in a couple of days, so make sure you take it before it does. And have a good week, guys. Again, if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the How I'm Doing This Week discussion post. Make sure you tell me which of those 2 songs you're going to do in this week's song. All that jazz. Thanks, guys.